The antique clock in the hallway had just rung 2 in the morning when a quiet knocking started. Michael Harris paused in his late-night routine of checking on his 8-year-old daughter, Emma, curious about who might be at his door at such an hour. At 35, Michael had grown used to the steady rhythms of raising Emma alone, where surprises usually meant small childhood issues, not strange visitors. The knocking came again, soft but persistent, prompting Michael to approach the front door with the cautious care of a father solely responsible for his child's safety. Through the peephole, he saw a woman on his porch, her dark hair damp from the gentle drizzle falling all evening. She seemed to be in her early 30s, dressed in a plain, light-colored dress unsuited for the chilly October night. Even in the dim porch light, Michael noticed her shivering, her arms wrapped tightly for warmth. Michael hesitated briefly, weighing the risk of opening his door to a stranger so late. Yet, something in her stance, a blend of fragility and quiet strength, urged him to turn the lock and ease the door open. "I'm sorry for disturbing you at this hour," the woman said quickly, her voice gentle but clear. "This must seem odd, but could you possibly assist me? My car stalled 2 blocks away, and my phone's battery is dead." Michael studied her face in the warm glow from his hallway. She was striking, her beauty rooted in genuine kindness rather than polished looks. Her brown eyes carried a weariness deeper than the late hour, and something in her expression stirred a faint memory. "Of course," Michael replied promptly, stepping aside to welcome her into his home's warmth. "Comin' from the rain. We can call for help, or I can check your car if you'd like." As she crossed the threshold, the woman glanced around the living room with a look of gratitude and strange familiarity, as if she recognized something she'd expected. "Thank you," she said quietly, taking the towel Michael offered for her wet hair. "I'm Lillian Carter," she introduced herself. "This might sound unusual, but you seem familiar somehow." Michael felt a tug in his heart at her words, a connection he couldn't pinpoint but felt oddly strong. "I'm Michael Harris," he responded, motioning to the cozy sofa. "Please have a seat. Would you like coffee or tea to warm up?" "Coffee would be lovely," Lily replied, settling onto the sofa with the careful poise of someone who valued kindness deeply. "And Michael Harris, that name feels familiar too." As Michael headed to the kitchen to brew coffee, he glanced at Lily's profile, sensing a bond beyond aiding a stranded stranger. "Lillian Carter," Michael mused as he returned with 2 steaming mugs. "Did you grow up nearby?" Lily's eyes sparkled with recognition. "I did, on Maple Lane, until I was 12. Then my family moved to Boston for my father's new job." She paused, studying Michael's face closely. "Michael Harris, you lived on Oak Street, didn't you?" 3 blocks from Maple. The memory washed over Michael like a warm tide of nostalgia. "Lily Carter, you had that tire swing in your yard, and your mom baked the best peanut butter cookies in the area, and you had that treehouse every kid on the block dreamed of visiting," Lily replied, her face lighting up with her first true smile since arriving. "You let me climb up even though I was 2 years younger, and your friends said girls weren't allowed." Sitting together in Michael's living room, 23 years of separation melted into the easy comfort of childhood friends who'd never truly forgotten each other. They reminisced about summers spent wandering the neighborhood, playing long hide-and-seek games until parents called them for dinner, and their vow to remain friends forever. "I remember when you left," Michael said softly. "I was 14 and thought I was too grown to cry over a friend moving, but I did. I cried too," Lily admitted. "I meant to write, but as a kid, time slips away, and soon it felt too late." "What brought you back?" Michael asked, noticing Lily's expression grow more layered. "I'm going through a divorce," Lily said candidly, her voice heavy with the weight of hard truths. "I've been driving for days, trying to decide where to begin anew. I came here because this was the last place I felt truly safe and happy." Michael's heart softened for this woman, once his closest childhood friend, now sitting in his home. Beautiful, vulnerable, yet still the same person he'd parted from years ago. "Lily," Michael said gently, "you mentioned your car broke down, but is that really why you knocked at 2 in the morning?" Lily stared at her coffee mug, tears welling in her eyes. "I passed this house 3 times tonight," she confessed quietly. I recalled the Harris family lived on Oak Street, and when I saw numbered 147, I knew it was yours. The porch light looked just like it did when we were kids. So, your car didn't just break down nearby, no. Lily admitted, meeting his gaze with raw honesty. My car's fine. I'm fine physically, but I've been driving for 2 days, feeling more lost than ever. Seeing your house felt like finding home again. Michael set down his coffee and sat beside Lily on the sofa, close enough to offer comfort, but respecting her space. Lily, you said I felt familiar. What did you mean? Lily smiled through her tears, reaching for Michael's hand with the same unhesitating affection she'd shown as a 12-year-old. I meant that being here with you feels safer than I've felt in years, like returning to someone who knew me before I learned to fear trust. You can stay tonight, Michael said without hesitation. Emma would love to meet you in the morning, and we can plan what's next after you've rested. Emma, my daughter, she's 8 and carries the Harris family trait of befriending anyone who needs it. Lily's smile warmed. I'd love to meet her. And Michael, thank you for opening your door, for the coffee, for making the scared little girl inside me feel safe. Lily, Michael said softly, you said this was the last place you felt safe and happy. Maybe it's not the last. Maybe it's the first place you start feeling that way again. Over the following weeks, Lily stayed in town, renting a small apartment and working at the local school, where her knack for connecting with children made her a favorite among students and parents. Michael and Emma became her anchors in this new life, the family she chose over the one she'd left. Surprisingly, for both Lily and Michael, their bond grew beyond rekindled friendship, feeling like a love that had patiently waited for them to be ready. 6 months later, when Lily accepted Michael's proposal in the same backyard where they'd played as kids, Emma presented her with a handmade card reading, "Welcome to our family forever." The 12-year-old girl who'd knocked on doors seeking adventure had grown into a woman seeking home and found that the best love stories begin with "You feel familiar" and end with "You feel like home." Sometimes, the greatest journeys bring us back to our beginnings, with eyes clear enough to see what was always meant to be ours. And sometimes, the best response to a midnight knock is to open the door and trust that the person standing there, shivering, beautiful, and somehow familiar, might be the one you've been waiting for without realizing it.